What's up YouTube, it's Gmo here, bringing you a ramble style video. I'll be killing rune dragons in the background, so feel free to click off of it and just kind of listen to it if you want. But this is going to be, I don't have anything scripted or anything, but I do have a few things I would like to say. This is going to talk about the Revenant Cave issue and how I personally feel about it. It's going to be rambling, obviously, it's live commentary. Hopefully I don't die at Rune Dragons, I'm on a Slayer task right now. But this is probably going to make a lot of people mad. But me personally, I do not feel like Revenants belong in Old School at all. Now, Jagex has already implemented the update. They worked hard on the update, so I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. And they definitely need to balance them. EVscape made a video on this. I will definitely leave a link to the video down in the description below. He's a great YouTuber. He makes great content. He puts in a lot of work, not only for one video at a time, but he also does multiple videos, like, all the time. He's always uploading. It's very rare that I get on YouTube and don't see a new EVscape video. He makes a lot of good content, so I would definitely recommend checking him out. That was a little bit off topic, but I do not think that they even belong in Old School. I know the update came out in 2007. I don't remember if the update came out in 2007 and that's when the caves came out, but I do know that's when the Revenants that just kind of lurked in the wilderness came out, was in 2007. And they lasted for quite a while. I don't know if they're still in RuneScape anymore, RuneScape 3, but we have them here in Old School. Now, I never liked the update in RuneScape 3. I know it was something to counteract no players in the wilderness PvPing, but the main reason people killed them was for the PvP armor. And this is why I say that they do not belong in Old School, is the reason they wanted to implement these was for the PvP armor, and I honestly don't think the PvP armor specifically belongs in Old School. I mean, I guess Revenants might have a spot, but there's so many different money-making methods out there already that it doesn't really make sense to add another one unless they're adding the PvP armors. But the PvP armors for today's Old School meta is just broken. If they were to implement those PvP armors, whether they degraded or were super expensive or not, they would be way too overpowered to actually have, and it would basically turn it into people who had money would be getting a lot of kills in PvP, and people who didn't would not. I know people probably wouldn't be PKing in it all the time, obviously, because of the risk, but I really think that the armor would just be too overpowered. I'm not a PvPer by any means, but I do remember back in RS, well, pre-EOC, and back whenever it was actually a thing, people were pretty much one-shotting people, and I know they had a lot of overpowered weapons, like the Chaotix and the Karasi then, but it was still way too overpowered to be in PvP. And that's what I don't understand, is Jagex, even though every single piece of the armor got voted no on, they went ahead and implemented this update. And I think what they're trying to do, as EVscape has said, is they're trying to basically make the drop table so overpowered, which I could argue it's not completely overpowered right now. But they do want to make it overpowered so that way people are like, oh, this needs change, let's go ahead and add the armor, and they want the armor. Jagex definitely wants the armor. They have pretty much made it clear that they want the armor in the game, and I personally don't think it has any reason to be in the game. But they went ahead and implemented this update. Now, this update, like I said, I could argue has no spot in the game, and I really don't think they should have added it. It's just, it's another money-making method. They could revitalize the wilderness in other ways. Now, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a genius. I couldn't tell you how they could revitalize the wilderness, but they definitely could have done so in different ways than not really copy and pasting. It is definitely different than old Revenants, but adding in content from RuneScape 3. I think before the buff, they were like 1.5 mil an hour or something like that, something ridiculous that just made no sense. And granted, yes, wilderness money-making methods should have quite a big advantage, I guess, on how much money per hour you can make in comparison to regular money-making methods. But you can sit there and AFK these revs with the bracelet on. You don't have to do anything. And to be honest, with the revs, sorry, I'm trying to focus, so I'm kind of losing my train of thought. But with the revs, their money making right now is insane. I know it's definitely not 5 mil an hour. There's no way it's 5 mil an hour. It's like that for the main players, like people who are on their main accounts running in there with chaotic mauls and hitting 1 or 2 big hits and getting the drop because they're getting piled. But for the normal players, it's a little bit lower. But if you remember, Rev Caves came out on Old School and even in RS3, and they were crazy content. Everyone was going to them for about 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks they died down. No one was going there, no one was PKing there, no one was really using it at all. Even in Old School, no one was using the Rev Caves hardly at all within 2 or 3 weeks after the update. And I really don't think that, I think it's dead content. Right now everyone's there because the drop tables got buffed, but if they never got buffed, it would be dead content. And I really just, I don't understand why they went through with this update exactly. I think it was more so something Jagex wanted than the players wanted, was Rev Caves. They wanted to revitalize the wilderness, which is fair. The wilderness could definitely use some revitalization, but Rev Caves is not the answer. Rev Caves are currently high risk, high reward, but the risk right now, obviously, is very, very high. Everyone's PKing there. But give it 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after this buff, and no one will be there. It will be completely dead content. There will be maybe 1 or 2 people per world, just like it was 2 weeks after the update came out. The only reason people are even there is because the drop table got buffed, and everyone's freaking out. Everyone wants to get a piece of the money before it's gone. It's honestly like the California gold rush. When all that gold was in California, everyone was going out there, and by the time everyone got there, there was no gold. That's basically how I feel about Revenant Caves. It's a huge update, and everyone's made a lot of money. Well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of high-level players have made a lot of money there with this new buff on the drop table. But other than that, other than the higher level players, the lower level players really aren't making a whole lot of money there. The higher levels are basically taking all the kills, which is fine. Obviously, it's fine because they grinded to the level that they are at now, and they should have every single right to be killing them. Oh shit. To be killing them faster than everyone else because they are a higher level player and they have earned that spot. But once they'll probably, I don't know if they'll nerf them again. I know that they said something about looking at the data before making a decision on that, but I could definitely see a nerf coming, and I could also definitely see them removing a couple things from the drop table. Now, what they're going to remove, I honestly could not tell you what they would remove, because I really have no interest in going there. It is, I wouldn't say it's overpowered, though. Oh, what am I doing? It is a solid money-making method for these higher-level players, but just the fact that you can go in there 2 weeks from now and AFK and make like I'd say it's probably more around 2 to 2.5 mil an hour right now. You could go into Rev Caves in 2 weeks whenever it dies out and make 2 to 2.5 mil an hour completely AFK, not even playing, while these people doing Zora. No one's doing Zora. I mean, there's a select few, mostly Iron Men probably, are doing Zora right now, because you can make more money AFKing at Revenants. Granted, there's your occasional PKers and stuff, and right now there's a lot of PKers and a lot of people in them, but 2 weeks after that update came out and we had Rev Caves, nobody was PKing there. Nobody was actually going in and really making money. You could stand there and just pick up the drops. And that's a lot of the reason why I don't think they have a place in old school. It is way too easy to make way too much money, way too fast. The players killing Zora are making 1.5 to 2 mil an hour depending on skill. Some maybe even up to 2.5 mil an hour. Maybe 3 if they get a good drop or something. I don't really know the Zora drop tables. I just know that it is very good money, but it takes a lot of skill to learn Zora. It does not take any skill to learn these Revenants. You just slap on a bracelet and AFK. But anyways, I think I'm done with rambling, and I am done with my rant, if you want to call it that. I do want to create more videos like this, though, just my thoughts and how I think about new updates coming into the game, what I think about them, whether I think it's good or bad. And Revenants are definitely bad, maybe not for the economy. They said they're not really bringing in a lot of GP right now, but there's no way that they're fair. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a sub down below. I will be making more old school RuneScape content. I actually just uploaded a video today on my progress. If you've got any suggestions for me, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. Also, if you have any different issues or you think of Revs differently, feel free to drop your opinions down below. I'm not trying to start any fights or arguments. I just wanted to get this off my chest and speak about how I feel about Revs. I really don't see a place for them in the game. Obviously, they are going to have to do something, though, because they worked really hard on releasing the Revs, and I don't see them just being like, oh, well, this one player doesn't like Revs, so we're going to delete them. I don't see that happening. They just need to balance the drop tables, maybe make them harder to kill or something, but there is no reason you should be standing there AFK making millions of gold an hour. And if you... also, sorry about the ramble again, but anyways, if you like the video, feel free to drop a like down below. It definitely helps out the channel. I've noticed my videos have been coming up even in my own suggested feed a little bit here lately because people have been more active in liking and commenting on the videos. This guy just died. F in the chat for that guy. I think he went AFK, forgot to eat or something. Anyways, as always, peace out.